You're in the dark.
Yeah, I was just kind of like feeling the darkness. I got my
Okay, you are the darkness.
look. It makes my space shirt look pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Oh, fun. It's talking about the darkness, right? Ashley has one of those, the Boo Mickey, but it's a purse, and it's in our closet. And I have a whole like rack that I made to hang all of her
like lounge flies,
and then purses. But here's the thing: it's all white. And then if you turn the lights on and you turn them off, it glows in the dark. So you're always like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" Oh yeah, it's Boo Mickey. But that reminds me of that.
What is Boo Mickey?
Boo Mickey. Mickey Boo, like the Halloween Mickey. He looks like a little ghost, a white ghost.
Oh,
yes. This is actually a Space Mountain shirt. We got it at the Magic Kingdom.
Ooh.
Colin back. You had just said something like though. Oh, when you were bringing up the darkness, I was gonna ask if you believed in a thing called love.
Yeah, man. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart.
I thought you were gonna say, speaking of the darkness, Dom's here.
The darkness has arrived.
Like, damn.
You should have come in all Bane-like. You merely adopted the dark.
That is one of the dopest things you could say to someone.
Yo, you're like Bane.
Where he's... I can't do the voice.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
The darkness. Yeah. I was born in it.
Molded by it.
It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast. It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast.
Welcome to the Pretty Neat Podcast, where we talk about UFC and other pretty neat things in the Bane voice, as it were. Dom is here from the darkness, as was foretold by Ryan, who's also here.
As the prophecy says.
Yes, I foretold of the darkness arriving.
Yes, you can't spell prophecy without pro, so I'm glad you're here. And I'm Aaron, and I point out weird word things like that for absolutely no reason.
Are either of you going to the Mall of Asia Arena in Manila on Friday/Saturday, depending on where you are?
I hadn't planned on it, but the week is still pretty early on. It's not even Wednesday yet.
True.
Why?
That's where one on Prime Video 5, Degenerate versus Malakin is happening. And apparently, and then one championship 164 is the next day or like 8 hours later. Hey, ONE FC, get your shit together. But also, Derrida, what the fuck ever, or Malakin, one of them is supposedly like a super stud fighter. So I will be tuning in.
Yes.
Oh, he's from the Netherlands. You know what they say about the Dutch?
What do they say about the Dutch?
You know what they say.
They have carny hands.
They have excellent ovens.
And they smell fun.
They are gifted and endowed.
Is that what they say?
Yes. Also, there's two guys with the last name Rotolo.
I thought the Dutch were only famous for pedophilia and chocolate, and they only used the chocolate to get to the kids.
Yes, they are brothers. And they are the jiu-jitsu brothers. Oh, we know these guys.
It went right over. What?
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. I'm a ONE FC guy now, so fuck both of you. How about that?
Yeah, ONE FC is dope. We're gonna have to start just incorporating it into our recaps.
I think so.
Week.
This one on Prime card on Friday night has me.
Should I bring it up?
This is my stepping in point.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
dipping that toe in there. The big one too.
The pinky toe. Well,
the Dutch toe.
The ring toe. You guys remember toe rings? Either of your moms ever wear a toe ring?
I think my mother-in-law still does.
Oh,
why was that a thing?
Or anklets?
Yeah, they got to accessorize those feet.
Like a bracelet, but for your ankle.
Yeah,
and check out my charm bracelet. Here's my 19 charms with all the different things on them.
Notably, an anklet fan.
Makes me. You like anklets?
No. My wife's notably a notable anklet aficionado.
Got it.
Happy belated Thanksgiving. I missed you guys last week so much.
How
What
much
did
projectile vomit did either of your Thanksgiving include?
0. Oh,
So-
yeah. But yours
Hey,
was
a little bit,
Yours
little bit.
compensated. Yours compensated for my lack.
So neither of you have kids.
That's correct.
Correct.
And what you learn, but you've been around small children, they have a look they get on their face. And that signifies that the clock is running, and likely you are several seconds after the clock has started. There is no amount of distance. Usain Bolt can't get there fast enough. Trust me. So my whole family, my whole family at my wife's side, not my family, her family, goes to Arizona where her brother and her parents live for Thanksgiving. I told you guys about this. I was supposed to go hunting on Friday. We'll get there. Her sister is vomiting profusely on Monday. Her sister's baby is vomiting profusely on Tuesday. Nobody seems to think at the time. Yep. Nobody's her sister's baby, who is my nephew, who is my favorite 8-month-old on earth, by the way. Nobody seems to like think it's anything other than maybe food poisoning for her and a little baby who's just started eating people food and a grandma who thinks that the only thing he wants to do is eat. Okay, so we don't put too much into it. Wednesday goes off without a hitch, no problem. Thursday, noon.
Oh boy.
I'm at my brother-in-law's house. They have a yeah, there it is. Everyone gets ready for Thanksgiving. My wife's whole family is there. My wife's brother's wife's whole family starts showing up. They also live in Arizona. And my daughter is standing in the kitchen, and I'm about 15 feet away from her, and I see her, and I'm like, oh no. And then it was just run. Yeah. And I'm like, well, she had exactly a dozen cinnamon rolls and about a half a pound of bacon for breakfast. It could be that. So we get her cleaned up. We lay her down on the couch, which is now stained because she threw up profusely again. Fuck.
Oh my God.
Fuck. So we get her cleaned up again into a second pair of pajamas, and we're in the room that we're staying in. And I look at my wife, I'm like, I'm not leaving tomorrow. She's like, you're absolutely leaving. Everyone else is fine. My mom will be here. Because the hunting trip was supposed to be me, my brother-in-law, my father-in-law, and then a couple of his coworkers, my brother-in-law's coworkers. I'm like, yeah, I'm not leaving you. I don't feel good about it. Plus, when she's sick, I don't do well focusing on other things. I'm certainly not going to try to kill a 1,200-pound animal. And
I'm on it.
And she's like, you're going. You bought a bunch of stuff to be in the cold. You packed all your hunting gear. You're going. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going. And she's like, no. We'll talk about it later. But if you don't go, we're going to end up fighting about it. And I'm like, well, that's extreme, but okay. About 15 minutes after that, I see my mother-in-law running down the hallway because she is now vomiting profusely.
Oh no.
It was like a movie. It was like a movie.
Oh my.
By 3:30 in the morning, everybody was sick. My father-in-law and brother-in-law did leave later Friday morning than they meant to. My father-in-law spent all of Friday and Friday night throwing up, which the only thing being worse than being sick is being sick at somebody else's house when you're 400 miles from your house. The only thing worse than that is being sick in a tent, and not at a campground, like literally in the middle of nowhere, 3 hours north of where you live. So yeah, just not good times.
Oh man, Ryan, please tell me you had a stable Thanksgiving.
Definitely not the low of lows that we just got the details on. It was good. Small, low key. Parents, sister came over to my domicile. Nice. I talked previously about the aforementioned brining of poultry, which was a success.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What'd you use?
So I had a kit basically.
We're gonna have Gordon Ramsay on the show eventually. So
Yeah, he can call me a donkey. I actually encourage him to do that. But
we don't have no turkeys.
No
That's
turkeys.
what you get. That's the
Got
poultry.
So anyway, I have a coworker / friend who is an avid griller, and does his turkey up in many different ways. And I said, hey, want to brine my turkey? What do you recommend? He said, okay, get this kit, which is everything prepackaged, and then do a dry rub.
So next time ask me, because don't buy a pre-made kit. And now I'm upset.
Okay. I apologize. I mean, this was, I did buy a butcher box, free range organic young turkey.
Okay. How was that?
I have a subscription, which is fantastic, right?
Nice.
It says on the bag, young turkey, 12 to 15 pounds.
Okay.
Like,
how was it? Good.
Eat a young turkey. It was delicious.
Okay.
It was great. So I brined it for about 18 hours, and then I dried it in the fridge, and then I put a dry rub on it. And I did not make my own compound butter and put it underneath the skin.
Next time you will. Keep going.
I told you that I was not a man. And
we're having a Thanksgiving
I was not going to be doing that
next year. I don't care what it takes.
So, okay. All right. And how did it turn out?
It turned out pretty good.
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't stuff it so that I could cook it for less time.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for about 350. I basted every 45 minutes with some chicken stock. And then I had some additional butter that I would just pour over the top as well. The skin was nice and crispy. It was a big success. My father made his fan favorite mashed potatoes. I mean, don't really ask. I don't think he has anything secret about it. Maybe it's just the process by which he makes them. Super creamy. My mom made homemade stuffing. My sister made this aperitif, which was essentially a crescent roll with candied bacon on top. It was equivalent to the bite of a pancake and bacon simultaneously with maple syrup. It was very sweet. I only had one piece, but it was a big hit with the rest of the family.
That sounds awesome.
We had a good selection of stone beers. I had my dad try a Kolsch style ale, and my father, I had this ready. He regularly drinks Michelob Ultra.
Love Michelob Ultra.
Hey, Dad, try this. It's light. You'll like it. It's German, right? It's a Kolsch style ale.
Lager.
Yeah, he cracks it. No, it's an ale, actually. Not a lager. Kolsch style, but as an ale. And I think that's probably where I went wrong.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
4 Points Brewing makes a Kolsch style ale. It's KSA. It's an ale. Brewed.
What?
Yeah. And he cracks it and he takes a sip and then he makes a face. I said, give me that beer. I will drink it. And then just go back to your tried and true Michelob Ultra. It was good.
Fort Point. Is that what you said?
Yes. Did I say 4 points?
I'm not sure what you said. What in the fuck is this? Oh, it's like a steam beer. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Like, Anchor Steam?
Uh-huh.
It's like that. Got it.
Nice.
So it's good. I actually like it.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And then for desserts, my grandma passed away a few years ago. She always would make pumpkin pie from scratch. So there's really you're just not going to live it up to it. And I know pumpkin pie, it's not for everybody, but I'm a fan.
Okay. If you don't like pumpkin pie, get the fuck out. All right.
So
not welcome on the Pretty Neat podcast.
And you know what? Every listener we have, all 9 of you, if you don't like pumpkin pie, unsubscribe. Fuck you. Just kidding.
Yeah, but please don't. But really, like pumpkin pie, it's delicious. And last year, it was a makeshift, let's have Thanksgiving at my house type of deal. So we weren't really prepared. And my wife was able to get a couple of slices of pumpkin cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. And then this year she planned ahead and we were able to pre-order a whole cheesecake, which you can freeze. And then we did that. And that was a smashing success.
That sounds so much better than mine.
We then
Thanksgiving,
we followed it up with a Trivial Pursuit horror edition. So it's all about horror movies and trivia, which was actually quite challenging. And then we did.
My wife's family was going to do karaoke. Yours is also better. Keep going.
And then we did 2 rounds of Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit, which I have the full board game, and I didn't win. But I'm in a family that is they're Harry Potter fans. So
Dom, we have to figure out how to get adopted in to
next year. You guys are invited. You're more than welcome.
Next year, I'm going to talk you through a compound butter.
Okay.
We'll also make your own brine, although I don't know. It's you can do brines a lot of ways. One year, my favorite year was so we hosted Thanksgiving for my family and my wife's whole family, a good 40 people the first like 7 years we had our house. And one year I went to every local brewery and got a growler and made a smorgasbord like local beer brine, which was wonderful. I also have done turducken. I'll talk you through a compound butter.
Turducken?
No, I can't debone birds like that.
I was about to say, like, whoa.
No. I ordered it.
Okay.
And it was amazing. There were no leftovers. And I always had to do 2 turkeys. Anyway, I'll talk you through the compound butter. Super simple.
Yeah. Definitely. Cooking with Dom is a treat. So like whenever that opportunity arises for anyone, it is a good one to jump on. It really is. Next time I'm out there, we'll have to do some cooking.
I don't have very good knife skills.
Or I do.
And my plating is terrible.
My plating is also terrible. You might be able to hear it. Like Thanksgiving was good, food was good. Brother-in-law's parents cooked, went over there, fun, had a blast with my nieces.
Nice.
Watching the 3-year-old like have access to a dog is like the cutest thing ever. But 2 days later I'm sick. My sister, my niece, all that bunch of people are sick. Nobody's tested positive, but everybody's fucking sick. So
damn, dude.
Hence I'm now here, still kind of sick.
Much like our gambling records, we were 1 for 3 for Thanksgiving. Although I was in Vegas and I showed you guys that freaking U.S. men's national team ridiculous prop bet that I hit.
Yeah.
That congrats. Was, I mean, and that was at the end of the game too, to have it as a draw.
Yeah, sure was on a penalty kick.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
And then you hit on both the Charger bets, right?
I did. I actually
on this points.
We cleaned up. So I hit the Chargers points against the Chiefs. I had the Chiefs winning on a 3-team parlay. I parlayed the Chargers with the Lakers. I did very well.
Good.
I had Raiders, which Derek Carr threw that crazy pass to Devontae Adams to win the game in overtime. I had Raiders, Chiefs, and Cowboys to win. The Cowboys won by like 37. And then separately, I had the Chargers to cover, and I had the Chargers to cover parlayed with the Lakers to beat the Spurs, which is the one team they are able to beat. So that was cool.
Yeah, consistently. That's true. True statement.
I was reading a thing online earlier today that there was somebody who coin flipped every game for the Jets this season and had won up through week 11.
Yeah. So every year there are stories like this.
Yeah, I feel like the chances are there every year.
Yeah, it's not
when it's the Jets,
right?
That just makes it all the more
well
fun.
The Jets have been much better than anyone thought they would be.
Well,
no, there are stories like this every year.
My favorite team,
Mattress Mac, for example, is that guy who bet whatever on the Astros and won like millions of dollars. Can I just mention before I forget, because I'm going to, I'm not even drinking. Tyson Fury is fighting on Saturday, in case either of you were.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, and get this. It's at 10 a.m. and it's not even on pay-per-view. It's just on ESPN Plus.
Dom, you're doing more marketing work for them right now than they have clearly put into it.
Aaron,
thus far.
You took the words out of my mouth. Someone explain to me again how boxing even still exists in this world. I don't understand. They are so bad at everything. It's just insanity.
It is just insanity.
Yeah,
but
Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora. for now what ESPN is calling the lineal title, which is silly, but it's a thing Fury gave himself. I like it. And the WBC, 10 a.m. stateside, at least Pacific time. Specific time. And it's just an ESPN Plus. So you can go ONE FC on Prime
on Friday
night. Carry that into Tyson Fury 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Carry that into the Stephen Thompson
Wonder Boy card. Oh, beautiful.
Well, who is he fighting? Kevin Holland.
Yeah. Which is a great card. This is a good card.
Yeah, we'll get to it for sure. That's definitely
make some PNP picks.
I mean, it's just insanity how bad at promoting boxing is. And there is almost no one more fun to watch than Tyson Fury. It's crazy.
I'll never forget 20 years ago, like when Dana White was saying that it's going to be bigger than boxing. And like when I was going to like Dave's Pizza or whatever and meeting with Brandon Williams and Adam and Dylan and Shauna and Kiri and all that group, we were going to watch UFC fights. And the place was sold out. So like it wasn't happening on boxing night. And there was boxing the same night. And that was 15 years ago. Like
it's just
it is bigger.
Is just a mess.
It's not bigger yet. It's
bigger.
Not bigger. You think UFC is flat out bigger? Do you think more money is evolving around UFC?
So yes, 100%. And there's no UFC fighter, save for Conor, that makes money like Tyson Fury or Canelo or a handful of other boxers. But top to bottom, UFC fighters make way more than boxers do. For example, the featured title fight and this is the problem too. The co-main on the Tyson Fury card is Daniel Dubois versus Kevin Lerena. Neither of you or me have heard of either of those two guys.
No.
It's 12 rounds for Dubois' WBA, and it's actually in quotes regular heavyweight title. What the fuck is that?
Regular heavyweight, so not like super heavyweight?
I know, because I don't know what the WBA regular heavyweight title is, and I don't know why it's in quotes.
I know what the
like
heavyweight
weight.
I know
because the two heavyweights with actual belts are Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk.
Yeah, that is a problem. And I mean, when you see like these dudes decked out with 15 belts hanging all over them, like it doesn't look impressive at some point. It looks like showboating, which is what it is.
It's not showboating as much as it sort of dilutes the value of any given one. And anyway, that's the thing is, like we've all heard of Tyson Fury. I've heard of Derek Chisora, but only because of the guys I've seen him lose to. So it's just weird. Figure it out, boxing. And of course, there's no UFC fighter. You can't give me, the only guy they have is Conor McGregor as far as who touches the celebrity of like a Tyson Fury or a Canelo, at least globally, but certainly like stateside, Conor's way bigger. So
yeah, he was in the news this past week because he's like been out of the USADA pool for a certain period of time. He needs to like be in it for 6 months right now.
Yeah,
so, like,
but they said that he could put in for an exception and just do two tests.
They'll give him an exception.
Yeah, they would. Oh well, that's not crazy. Before we even get into the recap, because this is more newsy than recappy, we should get like a news thing, like the beginning, the headlines type deal. Because Yuri Prohaska is out for like over a year. Apparently has a devastating shoulder injury. I'm drinking tonight. And he vacated the belt. So 282, Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev are fighting for the belt. I guess Glover was offered the fight with Magomed. but turned it down. He wanted more time to prepare. Is that right?
Yep, because he says he has a totally different style and he's a southpaw.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's plus 40, and he probably wants to make sure that he has a good accounting of himself. I don't mind that.
Nope,
No.
neither.
Who do you just at the I mean, with Yuri out, we're not going to speculate on what he's going to do in a year and a half. What do you think about Jan and Magomed? Like, how do you have any thoughts either way on one of them being a champion?
Well, Ankalaev, if he's smart, employs his ground game and just takes care of business there. Otherwise,
you're
Jan's susceptible
crafty.
to that Polish power, right?
Polish power. This also makes for some fun if Alex Pereira moves up.
When Alex Pereira moves up?
Yeah, when he moves up, it won't be where Yuri is. And I think that makes him more palatable there.
Do you guys think Khamzat Chimaev could beat Pereira at 185?
I think he would pose a challenge. Yeah, he definitely could.
Could he, or should I say, would he?
He could. I don't know if he would. That's the thing is right now.
Yeah.
Khamzat's biggest test has been Gilbert Burns.
Yep.
And Gilbert Burns used to fight at 155.
Yes.
So let's say he goes up to 185, and we know that Alex is really big for the weight class, right? He's going to barely weighing 185.
Did you hear he was like 219 when he got in the cage with Stylebender?
he weighed 185 for probably 90 seconds.
The time he was on the scale. Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. Yeah. And now he's 219. He could easily fight at 205. I think that would not be an issue for him. I still think he would be very competitive. So if he just nullifies Khamzat's physicality, like I could see a situation where Khamzat goes, "Hey, what the fuck?" And then boom, left hand.
Totally.
Yeah. For me, it's like the unstoppable force in Chimaev and the immovable object in Pereira. And which one breaks? I don't know. It's an interesting thought experiment. I don't think it'll ever actually happen. I don't know that Khamzat is big. I don't know that he's like 185 big though.
Yeah, I mean, who's he fought at 185? The one that comes to mind is GM3, Gerald Meerschaert the third. Yeah, he knocked him out in like 10 seconds.
I mean, Holland, he fought at 180.
Yeah.
And Holland is fighting at 170 now. He wasn't even a...
It was 17 seconds for Meerschaert. Show some respect, please.
Yeah.
My bad.
Meerschaert didn't even throw a punch in that fight. He tried once. I think he threw it and completely whiffed, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was rough. I think that there's some potential with Yuri out at that, and Glober not sticking around much longer, and Pereira up there. Like, there's a lot of room for like log jams to clear out with some weight moves.
Well, Pereira against a 205er with a real ground game is in big trouble.
Yeah, Pereira would have the same trouble as Izzy against Jan.
Oh yeah,
I think
Paul Craig could beat Pereira.
Okay, but that's because Paul Craig's just wily, right?
Yeah.
And his ground game is so crazy, and he's bigger. A guy Pereira's size. This is what I don't buy about the Robert Whittaker argument. Pereira is way bigger than Robert Whittaker, and I get his wrestling. I respect it. Yeah, that's great until that left hand comes flying at you, and that's just a different thing.
Hey, speaking of
different things
and left hands flying out of nowhere, why don't we recap a couple of things that happened over the past week?
Do it.
The last UFC that we did not watch because Lewis and Spivac was canceled. No,
yeah, that was weird. Is Derek Lewis okay?
Yeah, he just had some sort of illness. He's cleared the next day.
All right.
But they were good. I did watch most of these fights. They were really fun. Then we had Thanksgiving, so we couldn't connect. But I mean, Kennedy and Nzechukwu Jeez, KO round 2, beautiful. Andre Fiallo got finished off like super quick by Muslim Salikov, which was just a fucking destruction. The Vanilla Gorilla lost because his name sucks. And the Jack Della Maddalena mauling of Danny Roberts was pretty insane.
And then my deepfake guy retired. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Zalgus, yeah.
Yeah, he's done. He lost a decision.
So did they just like delete the file or put him on a thumb drive and throw it in a drawer or some shit?
We're gonna have to get.
How does that work?
They put him in the archives.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get Max Payne Griffin back on the podcast again, and we'll ask him if he knows what they do when they erase files.
Even he said, he was like, yes, I mean, I've stood next to him, but he kind of does not look like a real guy.
He totally doesn't. Fun. It was fun night. I still want to see some.
I actually randomly saw quite a bit of this card because I was working on some academic stuff at this very desk, and the TV over there had it on, but I wasn't paying super close attention.
Yeah, totally bizarre that it would happen in the middle of the card.
Yeah,
but shit happens, I guess.
Yeah,
you know what I was doing? You guys sent me that text.
What?
I was in the movie theater watching the first previews for Wakanda Forever, and I'm like, the fuck? What? Okay, I'm definitely not watching this when I get back.
What did you think of it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, Aaron, have you seen it? Okay, so this is not. I'm not going to spoil it. Okay, so the thing that happens in like the post credits.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Did I tell you a student told me that was going to happen in like August?
Oh yeah, just fan theorizing.
Nope. She goes, oh yeah, this, and I was like, she goes, I know what's going to happen, and I'm like, well, I mean, there's like 30 or 40 years of comic books to draw on. I'm sure we could all figure it out if we wanted to. She goes, no. My mom's best friend does costumes on the movie, and so this thing is coming. And I was like, all right, I don't believe you because 14-year-olds lie.
But that happened.
And I was like, all right, but I kind of filed it away. And I think I told you guys, there's a thing I heard that I'm filing away. And sure as shit, that was it.
Yeah. That's nutty.
Yeah.
That's totally wild. We've been watching Wednesday on Netflix.
Yeah.
The Wednesday Addams show. And it is very, very funny. I really like it so far. We're maybe 4 or 5 episodes in. It's gorier than I thought it was going to be. It's more adult than I thought it was going to be. My only issue with it is that Wednesday is so Wednesday that every response is virtually predictable. And all you have to do is go as far as you can with how would this person respond who's totally contrarian in every way they can ever possibly dream of being. And you're probably right. You know, I'm not going to go into specifics. Regardless, it's actually still a pretty fun show, and it's really well acted. Everybody in it is really good, and I really like that. And the hand is amazing. Like the way they did it is so good.
All right.
We're clearly seeing what all of the cosplay and Halloween costumes are for next year. And that's totally fine with me.
No, I don't think it'll be top of the mind next year.
Maybe not. Maybe if a second season comes out.
I was not into the Addams Family. That's not like a thing for me.
It's not for everybody. It was a fun one for me. Anyway, there was also PFL.
Jeez, 9.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
This also
for what, Wednesday?
Yeah,
it was good. Wow. We finished it over the weekend.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's not good. I very well could enjoy it.
I think you'll find the writing to be like I do, kind of like you kind of see things coming. Oh, yeah. And you and I have had to write together before, like in terms of content, Dom. So it's like, you kind of see where things are going, and it's fun. But I'm sure it'll give me surprises towards the end because it's all based on Poe, and it'll be fun.
As in Edgar Allan.
Yeah. The school they go to is called Nevermore.
Big fan of his, so maybe I will check this out.
Yeah, lots of Poe. Anyway, there was
also
also
Poe Dameron. I like him too. Carry on. Sorry.
Oh man, I've heard some shit about Andor. Anyway, it doesn't
You
matter.
haven't watched that either?
What? That it's not good?
I
Shut the
haven't
fuck
watched
up.
it yet. And I've heard it's great.
No,
it's fucking
not.
amazing.
No, it's not.
I've heard it's great.
Have you watched it all?
I
All of
haven't.
it? No.
I'm
Where
gonna
are you
watch
at?
it all.
I don't
Where
know.
are you?
Episode 3 or 4.
Okay, yeah. Reserve judgment.
Yeah.
I just hate this. Oh, well, you know, wait till episode 9 when you're 15 hours into this. It gets good. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. The Lord of the Rings by the second half of the Two Towers or Return of the King or whatever the fuck. Yeah, it really picks up. I'm like, all right, cool. What about the 2.5 books before that?
I've heard that
so something's not good unless it has like consequence immediately within
No,
the
of
initial...
course not. No, of course not. I just so far it has not grabbed me. But honestly, neither has Moon Knight, and I really wanted Moon Knight to grab me, and it just didn't. So
I've heard that if the care and attention that was put into Andor had been put into Kenobi, that Kenobi would have changed the whole game.
So what's cool about Kenobi is, have you seen it, Aaron?
I couldn't get through the second episode.
Okay, Ryan, you've seen it, I assume?
I want to watch it all, though. I still want to watch it all.
So this whole, I don't know how much of a spoiler this is, Aaron, but whatever. This whole thing where little girl Princess Leia gets kidnapped and Obi-Wan Kenobi goes on an intergalactic quest to save her. Nobody mentions that in any of the Star Wars movies or content ever after that. The fucking princess gets kidnapped by the oh, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. I've seen a movie where she gets kidnapped before. Oh yeah, that's right.
The New Hope.
Not, hey, you're doing this again to me. Honestly, that was my issue with Obi-Wan. I thought the episodes themselves were fine, but God.
Yeah. I want to watch it.
With the problem, you can't do it that way. With Star Wars, you have to give us unestablished characters. It's why whatever's good about Andor works. It's why The Mandalorian works, because I don't know their stories already. Tell me that The Mandalorian is 5 years after the fall of the Empire and 20 years before The Force Awakens. All right, cool. I can get behind that. This major consequential character in this universe has been kidnapped when she was a little girl, and no one ever says it even one time after that.
Yeah. And like later on, old Ben Kenobi, she's like, that's funny. I was rescued by somebody named Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Funny you should mention it. Funny enough, I've come to him for help many times. It's God.
I want to watch it. I want to have it in my repertoire.
That's where where I'm at with Andor, to be honest.
Yeah. I'll get
so
there.
good. Like it's almost top 3 on all Star Wars properties, in my opinion.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 Star Wars properties?
All right, great question. So it moves around. Great question. But
thank you for catching that lob. I'm Patrick Mahomes, you're Travis Kelce. Keep going. Yes, that was a dig. Cannot
be stopped.
Did you see those tweets that were like, Travis Kelce is part owner of SoFi Stadium?
Travis Kelce is rewriting the history book at the tight end position right now. I mean, based on what he's doing.
Stud. He's so good.
Okay, so number 1, right? Number 1 Star Wars entity, Empire Strikes Back, right? No, you dispute that?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Anyway,
number 2.
It's your list. Keep going.
Number 2, Star Wars Rebels. Okay. Animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Takes place just before, let's say right around the same time as Andor. Number 3 could be Andor. Might be my 3rd favorite.
Wow.
And maybe that's in anticipation of what the 2nd season is going to be. Maybe that's a recency bias because I just watched all of it week to week and I was like,
is it just because you kind of look like him?
No, I do not look like Diego.
A little bit.
Thanks.
It's a compliment.
Thank you.
You do have the facial hair right now.
It's
pretty great.
Yeah. Redid that. But yeah, it's like it's in there and I'm trying to think what would supplant that as the number 3. And honestly, it would only be Clone Wars, the animated series, or maybe The Mandalorian, even though
Wow.
I'm concerned about where The Mandalorian is going to go. But yeah, it might be top 3.
The Mandalorian should have ended after season 2.
Yeah,
My-
no, that's
my-
I
fair.
haven't even seen season 3, and it should have ended
What-
after season 2.
what
Season
What's
It
three isn't
was
out yet.
Do you
that
have a
ending of
3?
season 2 was perfect.
Do you have a top 3
Me?
Star Wars properties? Yeah.
Um,
I do. I think mine is not far away, but it is different.
I do, and I'm going to cheat.
Okay. Why are you going to cheat?
You'll see.
How are you going to cheat?
You'll see.
Are you going to
Okay.
make me go first and then
All right, go ahead.
compare Ryan and I's?
No. Go ahead.
I think my number 1 is Return of the Jedi. You know, I do like Empire, but
This is insane.
I can
This is
watch Return
insane.
all the time. Like I really like Return of the Jedi. And it's just got a little of everything. Ewoks, I'm cool with Ewoks.
I like Ewoks.
I like Ewoks.
Yeah. Number 2 is Rogue One. Although Rogue One alternates with number 1 for me. Like it kind of switches, but it's in the mood. And number 3, which might surprise you, Revenge of the Sith is growing on me.
All right, so Revenge of the Sith is interesting because
That's the third one, yeah.
Yeah.
it's
episode
I
3.
mean, the dialogue is so bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad, but it's iconic in the fact
Yeah.
that this is the transformation of
It
what
is. It's Anakin
Star
to
Wars is
Darth.
essentially revolved around. It's the story of Anakin Skywalker.
And Order
now-
66 and like
Order 66.
like it's got a lot.
epic duels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
oh, okay. I can get behind some of that.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. And you know what? My involvement with the shows, my engagement hasn't been there enough. Like I like Mandalorian, I like aspects of it. I like Rebels a lot, but like I don't get sucked into it. So I can't do 100 episodes of an animated series. It's too hard for me.
I think
no issues.
while I will not disparage the animated series is here because I am aware of and respect their fan bases, and I think there's a lot there.
I have to throw one more thing out there. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Fallen Order might be in there for me.
That
the video
doesn't count.
game. It has BD8 in it.
BD1.
BD1. Sorry.
Yeah.
not BD8. Which I want to get the Lego set for you for Christmas.
I just like that he was in the movie or show. What was he just in? Was he in Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
You guys ready? Take a deep breath. In reverse,
Number 3.
number 3 is the Book of Boba Fett. No. I don't know that I have a number 3. I think the prequels are a disaster. I know that's not a hot take.
Nope.
I think the original trilogy is a disaster. That is a hot take.
That
I've made
is
it
a
on here
hot
many
take.
times. And
you could almost say like because
The
it was the
hottest
first,
take.
it could be the best. I thought you were going A New Hope, to be quite honest.
with 3,
Or
No,
maybe
with
even
your
number
number
one.
one. But
No,
of course, you
God,
just said the
don't.
original
No,
trilogy
Of course
is
not.
a hot mess.
It is a dumpster fire of garbage. The acting is so bad. The
puppets are so fake looking.
everything is so bad, except that they're fun. And I maintain
A lot
Okay.
of people say they're the first blockbuster movies.
they may very well be, and I respect
So-
their place in history. I am a Star Wars fan. That's fine. I see number 3 is tough for me. I will say that number 3, you know what? Just because I do respect it, I will put The Empire Strikes Back at number 3.
Hey, out of like 20 properties, that's where it should be. It should be up
Number
there.
2 is The Mandalorian.
Solid.
Yeah, Mandalorian's good.
The end of episode 1 is one of the best endings to any Star Wars anything, and one of the best TV endings that I've ever seen. When that little egg compartment thing they have him in opens up, you're like, oh, we're doing this. Got it. Now I didn't know what this show was, and now I do. I also think in a time where Star Wars has just fumbled so many things, one of the things they've gotten right is keeping the mystery around whatever that race is called and their history and where they live and how many there are and exactly why they're so force sensitive, etc. Right? So there's Grogu, Yoda, and Yaddle are the only three I'm aware of in the entire universe that have been named. Is that correct?
Yep. We still don't know what they are.
And we don't really know anything about them. I think that is fucking genius. That in storytelling, I mean, that is absolutely outstanding. The way that you get everything that Grogu is thinking and feeling based on 5 facial expressions is excellent. The Mandalorian backstory, the way they've tied in the Clone Wars stuff from the animated series, I think they've done an expert job with it. I thought the ending to season 2 was virtually perfect. And one of my biggest complaints with Star Wars in general is we don't really get to see Vader at like the height of his power. I heard someone the other day on some podcast, I cannot remember what I was listening to, basically saying like he successfully ran the Empire for like 25 years. That's a good run. And it's a pretty fair point. You see him in Rogue One, you see him in, to your point, Aaron, Fallen Order, where you literally can't fight him. So there's some aspects there. So that's number 2 for me. But I'm sorry, in Mandalorian, you get a little bit of the Luke Skywalker that we've only ever heard about, when he just walks through all those droids and is like, all right, this one's come with me. Awesome. Love it. I don't even like Luke Skywalker, and they should have had fucking the guy who plays Bucky Barnes play him. Anyway, Sebastian Stan.
Yes, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, me too.
Fucking
for
looks
sure.
exactly like him.
My number 1 is where I'm cheating. This is a hot take. You're both going to be upset.
Last
Live
Jedi.
with it.
Yep. Last Jedi. Just say
it's not The Last Jedi.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
It is in fact.
Color me surprised.
It is in fact bundled as one thing. Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
And here's why. I think as 3 movies together, they work pretty well. Last Jedi was the one in the moment where I was like, this fucking sucks. And since I have really come around on, I have issues with The Rise of Skywalker. I still think I've only seen it the one time in the theater and then one other time when I was sick or something. I need to revisit it. But I maintain, if you took someone who did not know the history of Star Wars, didn't really know anything about it, and showed them 4, 5, and 6, and then 7, 8, and 9, and said, which of those 3 did you prefer? 100 out of 100, they say 7, 8, and 9.
Okay, let's try and rationalize this. Special effects are way better. Obviously, the original trilogy was inventing things as the films were being made.
Yes.
Whereas 7, 8, and 9 had the advantage of multiple CGI companies, as well as Lucasfilm, which basically made its brand, its reputation off of those early films and just being somewhat at the forefront. They had somebody that was a fan in J.J. Abrams in what he was trying to do with the sequel trilogy. You could make the argument that The Force Awakens is essentially just A New Hope rebooted.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and different. It's just, to your point, it's an updated version of it. The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, it's so controversial. I actually like it, but I really don't like The Rise of Skywalker because it's essentially just 100% fan service. And they could have
the ending.
They could have taken chances. I mean, I'm a big Chewbacca fan, but in that movie, he should have stayed dead.
He died?
Well, they thought he was dead.
Yeah, well.
He wasn't really dead, but the presumption should have been like, I really killed Chewbacca, which would have made her vision of her dark version of herself all that more realistic. But in fact, Chewie wasn't alive the whole time. He was on the different ship. They played a shell game, right? It was a switcheroo, a misdirection.
I agree with you there. And in the theater, I remember thinking, oh my God, they just killed Chewbacca.
They just killed Chewbacca.
That was the right move.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. And then you're like, oh, he's alive. And they're like, okay, so there's no consequence to that whatsoever.
I mean, they killed Han Solo.
They killed Han Solo in The Force Awakens. Han Solo wanted to die in the original trilogy, or Harrison Ford did. He wanted to be killed.
It would have made it better.
Yeah. A little more consequence.
A little bit more consequential, yeah. And that's the thing is, which, you know, I guess we can circle back to this if you do in fact finish Andor, about what they're doing in terms of making things consequential. Even though this is something that is prior to the original trilogy, we know what is going to transpire. It's the whole like, how did this happen before? It's the whole like it's the whole idea that people say, what is the Empire's tax policy, right?
Yeah.
Trying to know the inner workings of how something works. Yeah. What is their tax policy? How do they govern, right? What is it like living on a mid-world planet if you're under the Empire's control?
Well, you get a little bit of that in Force Awakens.
Do you?
No, I'm sorry. The Empire has fallen, but you get an idea of what life is like on these outskirts, sort of. What does he say? That's pretty much nowhere planets.
Yeah.
When she tells him she's from Jakku.
Yeah. You're on a nothing planet.
Either way, I maintain the issue Star Wars has fundamentally is they don't have actual source material to work off of. The reason I've made this point on here before, I think the reason the MCU works is because they have 50, 60 years of comic books that each have plenty of runs and plenty of editions and plenty of specialty runs. And there is an unlimited supply of material to pull from. That's why when people say something like, oh, they're just like, there was a recently like a big, like sort of anti something push for, or people saying like, oh, they're only making Black Panther because it's full of black hair. Well, like that shit came out in like the 70s. That's not a new character. He's been around for a long. Oh, it was Miles Morales. Someone was saying something about Miles Morales. Like, no, he's not new. He's been around before the, he's newer, but he's still not new.
No.
And Star Wars has none of that to pull from. Well, 2011 for Miles Morales, but still.
I heard somebody describe the new trilogy as a woman Jesus saving the universe through a comedy of errors. And I thought that was a pretty apt description. Because like, especially The Last Jedi, where everything happens on accident because plans get fucked up.
Like, that's every hero's journey tale, though.
At least the last couple of years, yeah. That was a fun, like, aside. Kind of. We do talk about UFC and other pretty neat stuff.
We do.
Amongst them, Star Wars. Are we going to talk about PFL?
So this Lonane guy, I guess, didn't get a contract on Dana White's Contender Series and then just won $1 million fighting in PFL.
Yep. Yeah.
It got me thinking. Go ahead.
Do you remember why he didn't get a contract?
I do not.
Because he didn't go for a finish. He was dominating his fight, and in the third round, he went for another takedown, and as opposed to like really trying to finish the fight. And Dana White made mention of that. Like you gotta always be working for the finish, never leave it in the hands of the judges. And he passed on him. And this guy was a great prospect. He went to the PFL, and now, to your point,
he won.
He's a millionaire.
Featherweight champ.
It got me thinking, if I was, there's like two versions of this. If I was Stipe, I'd be like, fuck this. I'm going to go fight 4 times in PFL, annihilate their heavyweights. Like, you guys want me to fight Cyril Gahn? I'll pass. And I'll just go clean out the heavyweight division in PFL and make $1 million at a time. I'll do it 4 or 5 times and I'll retire.
Yep.
Like, or even twice. I don't know. I mean, I know Stipe's done well, but then it got me thinking too, like, man, if I was Robert Whittaker or
Whoa.
Let's not talk about that. If I was Robert Whittaker or if I was,
we have to, because this is who Stipe would fight.
shit. If I was Robert Whittaker is like the perfect example. If I was a guy like that the mountain at middleweight for him is just too great. Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I mean, look at Aspen Ladd.
Yeah,
she won.
Not
Aubin
the title, but she still
Mercier.
won.
Yeah, Aubin Mercier. He was in the UFC. So was Ray. He might have been PFL actually. Now that I think about it. But man, there were some.
Also, they don't
fights.
test for steroids there. So
no. Akhmadov came in. Marlon Moraes lost again
to another Moraes.
Yeah. Natan Schultz, beat Jeremy Stevens. That was kind of expected. Natan, another one who got cut from the UFC too early.
But we're talking about some Marlon Moraes and the guy who isn't Wonder Boy but really is Wonder Boy, Jeremy Stevens and Stephen Thompson are the same person.
Yeah.
We're talking about like washed up guys. Robert Whittaker's not washed up. He just can't beat Pereira or Adesanya.
Yeah. It'd be fun. I think they would clean up there. Yeah.
They definitely, and they'd make a lot more money. Now, did either of you watch this one?
Kayla Harrison and Pacheco. No. I did
not watch.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Kayla, it was close. It was a close fight.
It was a very competitive.
Close fight. I think Pacheco won the 5th round. And I think that's what it came down to. And she looked better by then. She looked less tired. She looked like she was solving the problems of Kayla, and Kayla was going nowhere.
Well, it sort of looks like Kayla is only the one thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is totally fine while that works. But
judo and ground and pound.
If they had given it to Kayla, there'd be controversy, but she won a number of the advanced stats.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you could make the argument for her. I won't. I'm not upset about the decision. The whole time I was watching the fight and I watched the whole thing, I was thinking to myself, Amanda Nunes isn't beating either one of these women because they're so big. And Amanda that's really the problem, I think. And it's why we're never going to see it.
Yeah, probably not.
I also do think on her feet, Harrison would have a real striking disadvantage against Cyborg, but we'll probably never see that either.
Yeah, probably not. Gosh, I couldn't see Cyborg showing up in PFL.
No, cross promotion they're saying with Bellator.
Yeah, they said that her loss made the fight more likely, and I'm trying to understand why.
Because, well, I don't know.
I mean, I guess put more eyes on it. That's not belt versus belt. I don't know.
I do think Kayla will get that belt back, and
I'm surprised
that's all
it was
good,
a pay-per-view. I still think it's funny it was a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Oh well, that was a fun.
Tyson Fury's not even going to be a pay-per-view on Saturday. So
which is wild.
So
absolutely wild.
None of it makes any sense.
So if you have Amazon, then like you said, it's Friday and Saturday. You got
and ESPN Plus, I guess, but
yeah, that's good. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, let's talk about this weekend's fights and make some picks.
And now it's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast picks.
UFC Fight Night's taking everyone back to Orlando.
This is a loaded card.
It really is. It's so fun. And I mean, even the prelims. And there's a ton of prelims. I mean, look at this.
Jeez.
Look at this. Well, that's all the fights. But yeah, I mean, geez, where should we even start? In the women's flyweight, the first ranked fight of the night, which is on the prelims, is Tracy Cortez and Amanda Ribas. And that'll be really fun.
Why will that be really fun?
test out Tracy a little bit on some real jiu-jitsu competition in Hebos. Hebos likes to strike, but Ortega, is working with Tracy Cortez. Brian Ortega's her
they're
boyfriend.
practicing.
Oh, that's right.
They're practicing jujitsu all the time.
Yeah, she is on the list.
Yeah,
And so is Brian Ortega, for that matter. Oh, and it's her birthday on Saturday, so I hope she wins.
Yeah, so I think that'll be entertaining. That'll be entertaining.
The fight before that, Genaro Valdez is fighting, and I remember at 270 he had that wild round with Matt Frivola where they kept knocking each other down, and then finally, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, and he's fighting Natan Levy, who's an Israeli fighter.
Yeah, I recall that. Yeah, he's from Israel.
Does he? Yeah. Is he like Israeli special forces? He looks like he could be. Good Lord.
He definitely might have been. Jeez. And Darren the Damage Elkins is fighting like a guy who looks like a mini Khabib. That's weird.
Jonathan he
Pierce.
Does kind of look like Khabib.
It's like his face.
It's like the nose.
Yeah, and the eyes for sure.
Yeah. Somebody copied and pasted the brow settings from UFC 4 right over. That one will be fun. I mean, just brawl after brawl.
The Damage fighting for what seems, as he's an every 6 weeks guy, it seems. So he's not, because he fought in April. But
and it doesn't matter who he's fighting. He's gonna be a massive underdog. And he's gonna surprise everyone, whether or not he wins or loses. There's going to be a moment in this fight where Jonathan Pierce is in trouble. But I don't think it'll be enough.
He's a minus 500 favorite.
Yeah. It's still gonna happen.
We're assuming all these fights happen. It feels unlikely that one of them will fall off, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Michael Johnson is fighting. How do you say Mark Diakiese? How do you say that?
Mark Diakiese.
Diakiese. I like that. Kind of
Although
Italian.
it's not Italian, so.
Clay Guida is fighting.
One of your favorites.
Come on. Get to hear that guy burp over and over again. Angela Overkill Hill. Emila Ducote. Nico Price is back. He's always entertaining shit.
Now, when did we last see Nico Price?
I think I seem to recall him having a pretty memorable
Cowboy Oliveira.
Yeah, Cowboy Oliveira. October of 21. So we haven't seen him in a little while.
Yeah, long time.
Lost to Michelle Pajeda, no contest with the other Cowboy.
Lost
to Vicente Luque. It says result decision, no contest.
What?
I swear dig a little deeper here. Donald Cerrone.
But that Nico
final
Price,
no
Rowe.
Contest. 28, 28, 28, 28, 27, 27. Why was there no contest? Did one of them get poked in the eye or something? No, because it went to decision.
It went to decision. That's a draw.
Yeah, ESPN says no contest.
I know that it ended early because of his eye. And he was bummed that the fight was ending.
Oh well.
That's a good capper for the prelims. And then leading into the main card on ESPN Plus. I mean, Eric Anders and Kyle Dawkins is going to be good. Kyle Dawkins, Chris Dawkins' little brother, right?
Okay, I was going to say, isn't there a heavyweight Dawkins?
Yeah, Chris Dawkins.
Sweet.
Yeah, and this will be Kyle's third fight in the UFC, right? Since the Contender Series, and he lost to Delize,
who's fighting on the very next fight.
Yeah, and he beat Jamie Pickett, and then the Kevin Holland was a no contest due to a headbutt.
I don't recall.
That was the headbutt. That was the headbutt, and that was round one. Yeah. But geez, then you get Jack Hermanson and Roman Dolidze. Speaking of,
Jack Hermanson's fun.
Yeah, he's fun, and so is Roman Dolidze. He's got a lot of power, but if Jack's smart, he'll take it to the ground.
So Jack Hermanson's last five, he beat the Action Man, lost to Sean Strickland.
Yep. In a decision.
But beat Shabazian, lost to Vittori, beat Gastelum.
Oh man, when he beat Gastelum too, that was like a lot.
Yeah, he beat the fuck out of Chris Curtis.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, they're both ranked 8th. Huh.
Are they?
Yeah, they're
They
both
are.
ranked 8th at middleweight. So
Interesting.
this is battle for 8th.
Battle
Winner
for 8th.
winner gets castrated.
So on ESPN's rankings webpage, Jack Hermanson is 8 and Roman Dolidze is not on the page. Is Dolidze
Injured.
fighting up or something? What's going on?
No, because his last fight was against Kyle Dawkins,
Yeah.
and he knocked him out.
I don't think Roman Dolidze is ranked.
I don't think so either.
Well, the website is fucked up then. But hey, I think that'll be a really fun fight. I think that's a good. I think you're right. What you said, Ryan.
Is the Ty Sergey fight? Is that the last two guys that have knocked out Derek Lewis?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And
Well, more than 2 guys. Derek Lewis is on a 3-fight losing streak, 4-fight losing streak.
yeah,
Isn't it like the
close.
last 2 guys he fought? It's Tai Tuivasa and Sergey Pavlovich.
I think it is. Yeah.
And Cyril Gane before that.
Yep. This will. I think this is Sergey's to lose, but Ty
You
can
think
win
so?
it. Yeah. Yeah. I think
I
this
saw
is.
I saw a headline earlier that said Ty is gonna take some time off after this fight.
Really.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it was just a headline. I didn't read the actual article.
Interesting.
So I don't know what he means by that. It could be like, I'm gonna take 6 months off, which, work on your skills, homeboy.
Yeah. I could see that.
He didn't look terrible against Cyril Gane.
No. Better than I think a lot of people thought he would.
Much tougher. Much tougher than I think we even knew he could be with how he was
Yeah.
getting pieced up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of tough, flyweight is after that, and Matt Schnell is very tough. With Mateus Nicolau. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Yeah, a 6 and 7 matchup there. That's fun.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that Nicolau is such a huge favorite. But
Well, I wonder if it like styles, right? Because Matt Schnell
yeah.
is the guy who gets into a war every time.
Yeah, every time. He wants to
Every
brawl.
time. Yes. He wants to get bloody.
Let me bang or whatever.
Come
Yeah.
on, bro. I want to bang.
He is a bang
In
bro,
the face.
as they say. He's a member of Bang Bros.
Bang bros.
That's a porn joke for the
He's
uninitiated.
Bang brother.
One of my favorite things is right around this time every year, Pornhub or whatever does like the most popular category in each state. Yeah, good times.
People are weird.
Yeah.
How do we transition that to Brian Barberena and Rafael dos Anjos?
I mean,
Well,
Rafael dos
we go
Anjos
from-
looks like he starred in some of those films in 1995.
And Brian's nickname is Bam Bam.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
That was easier than I thought.
Yeah.
Another one. What again? Like that is just such a huge favorite
Dude,
for
it's
Rafael.
It's because Bam Bam is so much bigger than him. Oh, no. Wait, what?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dos Anjos is going up into welterweight. Brian fights at welterweight, but Brian is the massive underdog.
Massive.
Weird.
Massive. Well, he's not ranked. And Dos Anjos is like the guy who's,
I mean,
quote
he
unquote,
beat Lawler and Matt Brown.
yes.
Back to back.
Lawler, he beat Lawler this year. Like, come on, let's be honest
in
about
a
that.
punch fest where he was
Yeah.
almost losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
and
mean-
Dos Anjos fought Rafael Fiziev, and I think that went to decision.
But even
Nope, that's a
still,
KO.
well, Rafael Fiziev is a monster.
He's a
Mhm.
monster.
Even still, that plus 400, that's a good $10 flyer.
And he beat
Yeah.
Hanato, and Hanato was the guy on the last pay-per-view who
Yep.
fucking stole the show.
Who did?
Hanato Moicano.
Who beat him?
Yeah.
Though?
Rafael Dos Anjos beat
Okay.
him. You know,
So
Yeah.
you're picking Rafael here?
hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think Rafael will do it. I think he'll get it by submission. Probably.
I think I love that he comes out to the Kumite song from Bloodsport It's fucking badass.
He's 47 years old.
He has the forehead of a 55-year-old man.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
He does. And I'm here for it.
I am as well. Following that, you get the main event of the night, which is a really fun one. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Kevin the Mouth Holland.
Dude, can you believe that Wonderboy is almost 40?
It's tough. It's tough to believe. I thought he was over 40 myself.
I think he's like 2 weeks away from his 40th birthday.
Huh.
And the man.
February 11th, he will turn 40.
2 months.
Wow.
3 months.
And he is on just a 2-fight losing streak to Burns and Muhammad.
So he lost to guys that wrestled the fuck out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Is Thompson going to do that? I don't think so.
Kevin Holland?
Yeah, is Holland going to do that?
I don't know.
He lost to Till. Okay. He beat Masvidal. He lost to Woodley. Oh, there's the 2 Woodley fights. He lost to Pettis. Was that the one where he did the Superman punch off the cage?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't remember the Jeff Neal fight, but that's a good win.
God, who hasn't fought Jeff Neal or Neil Magny?
Jeff Neal Magny. And then Burns, that's a UD.
Yeah.
And Bilal, right? We know what he's about in his last fight.
Yep.
That action is what he's about.
I'm about that action.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Holland I just don't know what he's gonna do.
So when was the last time we saw Kevin Holland look good? I guess Tim Means.
He looked good against Means. He looked good against Oliveira. The Holland was the headbutt. The Dacus was a headbutt. I mean, Vittori clobbered him. Brunson clobbered him.
Those
Didn't
are
he
big
snap
dudes.
Jacare's arm?
He knocked him out from the bottom.
That's right. That's
he
right.
knocked
Who
him out
broke
from the
Jacare's
bottom.
arm?
Muniz. Andre
Yes,
Muniz.
Andre Muniz.
Ugh.
Yeah. But I mean, Holland looked amazing against Souza, amazing against Stewart, amazing against Ontiveros.
Kevin Holland has a lot of fights.
Buckley, Giles. I don't remember Giles. There's nothing here. Maybe it got canceled. And Hernandez. That was an awesome KO.
Fluffy.
What weight class did he fight Thiago Santos at?
Middleweight.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thiago Santos must have been the biggest middleweight of all time.
Dude, he fought Anthony Smith at middleweight. And those guys are both light heavyweights now. Well, Thiago's retired or cut. I mean,
Who fought Anthony Smith at middleweight?
Thiago Santos. Maheta.
Jeez.
They both were 185 for a period of time, and then they both made the realization, like, killing yourself to make 185. Anthony Smith did an interview. He said, like, cutting weight that much.
Mm-hmm.
He said you don't feel normal until a week later. So it's like you're fighting the very next day, and you still feel like severely compromised.
Did you guys hear Sean O'Malley talking with Joe Rogan about that?
No.
What did he say? And he it was a good interview. O'Malley said, and he cuts down from about 155. O'Malley said it takes him a solid 4 weeks to adjust to normal eating after a fight camp. So
his dieting,
just because of the way his dieting and weight cut works. And so I can imagine these guys who really suck down, like, it can't be healthy for you.
Who do you think has the worst cut?
Derek Lewis. It
was Greg Hardy.
I don't know. It seems like Pereira is a guy who's going to really start to struggle. Women definitely struggle with it more than men.
Because they naturally carry more water weight. So it's harder for them to drop the LBs.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a couple of heavyweights that have to cut.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Well, who's the guy who just mixed? Chris Barnett?
Yeah.
No.
The real action, the people's action.
Yeah. Chris Barnett missed. That boy was 300 pounds.
That's a big.
That boy is 300
man.
pounds doing a fucking somersault, breaking the cage.
Think about this. And I understand it's not the same. Okay. Don't get all upset. I understand it's not the same, but I'm not talking to you guys. I'm saying in the comments, don't get all upset. Alex Pereira walks at 219 and if he cuts even to 205, if I challenged either of you with just losing 14 pounds, how long would that take?
I'd probably be able to in a week.
No, I could do it in probably like 48 hours.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I start drinking distilled water.
and
just stay in the sauna.
I guess I'm not saying cut weight. I'm saying lose 14
lose
pounds.
the weight. Oh,
long time.
That's going to take a while.
Yeah.
That's not something you're just.
We treat it because you could truly, if you are correct about the distilled water and the sauna and the calorie restrictions and you could drop 10 pounds of water weight pretty quick, but it's not real. It'll come right back. So I don't know. I don't know who has the worst weight cut to answer your question, but it seems like a number of these guys are doing damage.
I know the answer. I mean, and he doesn't have to make the cut anymore, but remember Rumble Johnson used to fight at 170?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker was a heavyweight?
Yeah. It would have been Rumble. I think, if he was still...
Like, how did that happen?
I don't know. And
170?
Yeah. I don't understand it.
He went from 170 to 205. He was fighting at 170 and then like he couldn't do it anymore. And then he just moved up to 205.
That's so crazy.
Like that's kind of what Kamaru was saying. Hey, I'm going to move up from 170 and start fighting at 205. And we're like, no, you're not. And we think about just how large Rumble looked when he fought at welterweight against everybody else. And you're like, that's not a middleweight or that's not a welterweight.
Mm-mm. I bet Kamaru is probably so much bigger in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's probably like 190, 200 pounds, most likely.
I bet he's bigger than that.
Yeah, you think so?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Because
he's a big dude.
And some fighters, I mean, they surprise you how small they are when you see them in person. Like Cheeto. Cheeto was a smaller guy.
135. He fights at 135.
Marvin Vettori is fucking huge.
Marvin Vettori is a big dude.
And he looked really big. And
Michael Chiesa was fucking big.
Yeah,
was Uriah Hall.
Yeah, they fight, 30, 40 pounds lighter than I walk around at. But meeting them in person, they are bigger people than I am. They are made of a different type of wood.
Yes,
I am particle board. They are mahogany.
Yeah.
Particle board.
Yeah.
That's not wood. You mean your balsa wood.
Yeah, I am balsa. They are
balsa.
Oak.
They are cut from the olive tree. And you are.
Yeah. Who do you think's gonna win the Thompson?
I got Thompson.
I got Thompson.
I still think I think Holland's gonna try and engage on the feet, and that's not the move. If you want to beat Thompson, you don't engage him because he's good in both stances, and he's really good at going in and out.
Yep. Yeah, I think it'll be a point battle decision. Thompson.
Been almost a year since we've seen Wonderboy. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think for him, he even said it. Yeah, he said it earlier that he turned down fights because he didn't want to fight another wrestler. Because, I mean, and I respect him for saying it. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look good when he fights he fights the wrestling style. He's not really allowed the freedom and the space to do what makes him exciting to watch, which is be able to dance, to hop up and down on his feet and go for awesome switch kicks or whatever the case may be, and use both of his hands and fight with his hands down and be able to strike, kind of like what MVP does. They both have that really cool, elusive karate style. I love the way that they throw punches from their hips, right? It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Could you imagine if the mouth catches him with a high kick?
I can see it.
It's just
like how happened to Kamaru Usman.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can happen to Kamaru. It can happen to you.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about how Jake Ellenberger said Thompson wasn't going to get him with any of that spinning kick shit. And he got him with it 3 times and knocked him out in the third one.
And then he got him.
And yeah, I could see the mouth just like showing off something weird that nobody sees coming. But nah, I got Thompson. I think it's a UD, but I think the rest of the card will provide enough exciting finishes that it'll be a fun night.
I hope Wonderboy knocks him out. I could see it.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I would love to see that too. I could see Holland getting caught. Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun card and a fun day of fighting.
Yeah. Anything else you got coming up this weekend before we wrap up and call it an episode?
I'm going to SoFi Stadium on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
To watch the practice squad Rams and the Seattle Seahawks.
Nice.
Aaron, the practice NFL teams have what's called a practice squad.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so they have guys who are like, top level college players, but not good enough to play in the NFL, to practice against their starters, and that's basically who the Rams are running out there these days. So,
yeah, not so great.
The injury bug has bitten hard, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
Cup's down. Stafford, they said they don't know when he's going to come back.
It seems likely he will not play again this year.
Didn't they just lose they cut their starting running back?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they didn't really run the ball too much anyway.
Well, they don't have an offensive line, so you can't run the ball.
Hey.
But I got a new Aaron Donald like vapor or whatever replica jersey that I will wear because I stay representing and they're still the defending champs. So
I'm just gonna watch all the combat sports that are gonna be on now. Sounds like my weekend is pretty well made for me.
I think we should all watch the ONE FC on Friday night and have just a rollicking discussion about it.
I don't think I have plans, so I'm for that. I am for it.
I am excited to see. Let me pull this back up. How this works because I have not ever watched a ONE card
on Prime
or anywhere. But the fight before the main event is like their jiu-jitsu championship.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's right here. So Cade Rotolo, Ruotolo versus Mateus Gabriel, the lightweight submission grappling world championship. Before that, 2 ladies are fighting in the atom weight. There's an awesome weight class. Muay Thai world championship. Then a welterweight and a lightweight fight open up the main card before the light heavyweight world title. Anatoly Malikin versus Rener de Ritter. Again, one of those 2 guys is like a super stud. I don't know which one it is. And then Rotolo's brother is also fighting on the card at the catchweight submission grappling.
Ooh.
So definitely excited to kind of see just what a submission grappling thing looks like. And these brothers are twins and they are from, I know them from somewhere else. Where do I know them from?
The Matrix Reloaded.
No. I think that they are like ambassadors for a clothing brand that I wear, if I'm not mistaken. And no free shout outs, so I'm not going to name it until they pay us to name it, but I'm pretty sure that is where I know them from. I'm trying to confirm that here. This is compelling audio. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure that's where I've heard of them.
Oh. Hey, to giving one championship a shot,
which we will
on Giving Tuesday
on Amazon Prime.
Number 5.
Speaking of Amazon Prime, get your fucking shit together. How about that? You want a Dom? I've got one for you. On the end of September, how about that? When I had COVID and I was sitting alone at my house, they released. So I'm a avid reader. We've talked about this, right? Mm-hmm. They announce for pre-order a new Kindle that you can write on. And so I said, I copy. And so like, my wife and I have different views on spending money. I like to spend it. She likes to save it.
Fair.
I sent her the Amazon link and I said, I'm going to pre-order this. This was literally, as of yesterday, 2 months ago to the day. She said, okay, or you do you. So I pre-ordered it. Or it comes out tomorrow. Supposed to have it. And actually, there's a question I want to ask you guys before I finish this rant. Don't let me forget. So I pre-ordered it. Then I hear like a week or two ago that there's some sort of issue at Foxconn or wherever the fuck they make them. And some of the orders have been delayed, but not mine because I ordered it within the hour after it was announced or able to be ordered. And then yesterday it ships and I'm thinking, oh, this is great. This is great. Yeah, it'll be here Saturday. And apparently, according to Amazon right now, it's in San Diego. I'm hoping it gets here tomorrow and their app is just, but I'm not. Oh, I want instant after 2 months gratification. You know what I'm saying?
Question? Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys
is that instant gratification?
No, but I want it tomorrow, not Saturday.
I want it now.
Are you guys Christmas people or Halloween people?
¿Por qué no los dos?
I don't know.
I'm kind of both.
Why not have both?
You can have both, but if you had to pick one,
I'm probably more of Halloween. I like Halloween.
Yeah, I think my wife is more Halloween, but I put up I put up directions. I put up Christmas decorations the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
this past weekend. So
yeah.
I was like, we're doing this shit.
Yeah.
Funny thing though is we have Nightmare Before Christmas decorations. I bought some inflatables.
I'm working on a theory about this.
Okay.
I'm not going to share it today, but I'm working on a theory.
We got a working theory.
I want
stay tuned.
my house to what I've been sort of tongue in cheek saying to my wife. I want it to spray you in the face with Christmas when you walk in. Yeah.
Just a shot of Christmas in the face.
I am a Christmas guy through and through. I give two fucks about Halloween. So, and I do think my theory is I think there's Halloween people and I think there's Christmas people, and I think I would have pegged you both for Halloween people, which is again totally fine. It's no shade. But last year we talked about who was the guy, Aaron, that chef you went and saw?
Chef?
Yeah, you saw him do like a live gastronomy show or some shit.
Alton Brown.
Yes. If you remember, on his website, he had an aged eggnog. I made it last year and it's in the back of my fridge. So
oh God.
I actually have like a mason jar that's full and sealed of it. And then I have the container I was keeping it in, and I opened up that one. And do you know what it smells like? Eggnog and like all of the brandy, rum, and bourbon that I put in it, because it calls for like 2 cups of each. So, and I was like, how can you age eggnog? And then I read the recipe and I'm like, well, that's how. It's mostly hard alcohol. So I will do it live on the show next week.
All right. Hey.
Okay, so a big part of your Christmassy favoritism is based around the seasonal drinks. Is that where we're getting at? Seasonal drinks? All the accoutrement that goes with it?
I just kind of like everything about it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on board, right? Halloween has kind of developed into a whole month of October type thing.
Yeah.
But Christmas has always been like immediately Thanksgiving's over, it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
There seems to be more cheer in the air, more goodwill.
I would agree.
Goodwill towards man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I notice myself holding doors open more frequently for people, even if they're not like 2 steps behind me, just standing there holding the door.
I sent you guys that picture of that Jack Daniels tree. You guys know how those work?
No.
So they make those giant Christmas trees out of actual Jack Daniels barrels. I love Jack Daniels. And it started, I don't know, like 2011, and they just had one in Tennessee at their distillery, and it has branched. They have 12 of them now all over the country. I didn't know it was there. It's at Caesar's Palace. It in front of Hell's Kitchen. I didn't know it was there. We were just walking and I saw it and I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. They also have one at Honda Center, which is pretty cool. I have not seen that one, but on December 1st, I think they go on sale, and each barrel is only $150, but there's not that many barrels in it, so you got to get lucky. And the proceeds go to a charity, and they are partnered with someone. I cannot remember who. But what they do is they find servicemen and women who cannot afford to go home for the holidays to see their families, and they pay for their travel.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So pretty
That's
sweet.
awesome.
I like that.
I am going to try to buy one of those barrels. My wife said, what are you going to do with one of those barrels? I said, babe, we're going to decorate our house with it, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, you come on. The answer's right there.
Yeah. It's like, what are we not going to do with it? We're going to eat dinner off of it. You know that like end table between our two couches that you have decorated all nice? It's going to be this barrel, baby. Let's go. But anyway, I mostly think that charity is fucking awesome. And that's like it literally says like for servicemen and women who are able to take the time off but can't afford to fly from Germany to fucking South Carolina or wherever they're from. Like that. Good for you, Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jack Daniels 2024.
Jack Daniels 2024.
Hey, you know why I love MMA so much? It's pretty neat. That is 100% true, but it's also because it brings us together.
You know what? Violence really does bring people together.
Yes, let's get back to violence.